Hey everyone, and welcome to the Hair Healer Podcast. I'm your host, Colleen, the Hair Healer. I invite you to embark with me upon a journey of exchanging energy and creating conversations with my clients as we discuss our journeys through life. So come with me and let's see where today's episode takes us. Hey everyone, it's the Hair Healer, and on today's episode, we are going to be doing something a little bit different. And in fact, I say on today's episode because this will be my 7th recording I've done, but this I think is going to be the very first episode. Tonight I was supposed to have one of my wonderful clients and they had to cancel last minute. So the thought popped up to me and said, wait, like who is the hair healer? You know, like let's let people know who the hair healer is and who I am and my story and what I'm about. And the more I thought about it and I discussed it, even with some of my clients, because you guys have been such a huge part of this and giving me your feedback and everything, I figured so we might start out with this. So if you're listening to this for the very first time, I'm so excited that you're here and you're supporting me, and I love you all. So today we're going to do an interview, only this time I am not going to be the person doing the interviewing. I'm going to be this person on the other side answering the questions. I'm not normally used to that. Normally I'm used to being able to ask the questions and engage and listen versus just talking. And again, this is totally unscripted, so who knows what I'll say. Sometimes the Gemini in me comes out and I say things that don't make sense, but this is going to be a little bit about the journey to how I became the hair healer, where I am today, and again, a little bit as the season goes on. We'll talk more about myself, but today we're going to be who is the hair healer. So right now I have my husband, Ben, with me. Say hi, Ben.
Hi, Ben. How's everyone doing today?
Oh, God, a dad joke. He's full of them.
Had to. Couldn't be helped.
A man in his 40s, a dad in his 40s. I figured it would be wonderful to have someone who knows me as well as he does to interview me and ask me these questions. Plus, I couldn't really find anyone else, so he got stuck doing it. So let's get started.
Okay.
Take away, and you have to do as good as I do, because after this, they're going to listen to me interview my clients.
That's a lot of pressure. I mean, I don't know. I'll try to set a hair healer standard since we're coming out of the gate this way. Like Colleen said, my name is Ben. I am the hair healer's husband, amongst other things. A musician, runner. You can find me at _authentic_breakfast_ at Instagram. Did you just stop?
No, I didn't stop. We'll keep going. Yeah. This season, if again you're listening to this for the first time, there's been a lot of oopsies, and I'm doing it. So right there was a little oopsie. I just turned down the volume on my computer. So go ahead.
And since I'm a Mac person, I don't know how to silence alerts on her PC that she bought specifically for podcasting.
And I like to figure things out as it comes. That's the beauty.
And that's a technical difficulty. And that's part of the beauty of the hair healer. If you didn't know that about her, she really just wings it and throws it against the wall until something sticks.
Something sticks. And again, this journey, the beginning started out as a YouTube idea. And it started out with something I've wanted to do since before YouTube comes. And then I started a YouTube channel. It didn't go the way I thought, but it sort of just developed to this podcast. And I have been learning in front of everyone and failing in front of everyone. And that's what I am good at. And so I'm just going to talk. My favorite thing.
Since we have you talking, let's get started here. What does it mean to be the hair healer and why the 1111?
What does it mean to be the hair healer? You know, I didn't even really look at these questions. You started to show them to me and I love them, but then the ADD kicks in. So this will again be really raw and what comes right from my mind. What does it mean to be the hair healer? So I got into the industry of doing hair because I loved people. I loved the way I made them feel. And what I realized shortly on, it wasn't necessarily from the hair that actually made me feel good. It seemed to come from how their soul felt and their energy felt after leaving my presence. And that sort of developed into what it is today, that now I want to be out there and I want to help everyone be and live authentic and be happy and be who they are and just be happy and show the world that we're all souls connected. We're not what we wear or look like or have or whatever. We're just a bunch of amazing souls. And what does the 1111 mean to me? Well, for those of you, that's 1111 is numerology. The universe explains things to us through numbers. Okay.
It gives us messages, synchronicities.
Thank you. Thank you.
Through numbers. Sure.
Yeah. And there's some, if you want to know the science behind it, just look up Albert Einstein. He talks about it, and Tesla somewhere. So,
okay, just use Google, and that'll probably lead you down the right direction. But
so 1111 is like a universal number. So if most of you remember as a kid, I would see 1111 and be like, make a wish, which in terms, right, as kids, that's actually manifestation at its finest, make a wish. And so it's always been the first number to myself that I had ever really noticed. And carried with me. And a lot of times it can have meanings of awakening, your spiritual path is being shown, a twin flame or soulmate connection is nearby. Is there any other ones that 1111 can think of? It's a big universal number.
Sure.
The universe is mother effing screaming at you.
Right. And what's that significant to you? Like, is there a date, maybe 1111, that has some significance?
Are you trying to get to something? Okay, so 1111 was also the day I married my husband, who's interviewing me after 2 months. And again, part of the hair healer journey is I just go with my heart and my soul, and I just flow with it. And so since that number had meant so much to me, as well as him, I said, okay, after 2 months we were together, but probably at this point, 3 weeks together. And I said, I will marry you if 1111 is on a Saturday and I can take off. And sure enough, we looked, and then we married on 1111. And here we are just over 2 years later, interviewing me for this podcast.
And we have 1111 tattoos.
And we do. Yes.
Okay, so I think we pretty thoroughly explained the 1111.
Does that sound good?
It does. And I think your explanation of the hair healer was beautiful. It's really the therapeutic value of speaking and healing and having people get vulnerable while they're in your chair.
Well, I think again, we'll get through all my life journeys. I've had a very interesting life since the day I was born. And a lot of it, I think, was to make me, who I am today, but also be able to give such open space, judgment-free, because I have so many experiences and I'm an old soul. It's probably my last lifetime. But be able to hold space for these people and allow them to release this energy and then move on from there and leave it. And I can hold space for it or give them advice if that's what they want. Though sometimes people just want to be able to voice whatever it is and then like watch people get better and better and be like, and a lot of people that are on the show, like I was a pretty big part of their journey through healing different situations. And again, that is what is beautiful to me.
So from everything you're saying, I hear a lot of spiritual principles in there. Are you religious or are you more of a spiritual person?
Good question, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember where that's from. I grew up, so I'm spiritual, not religious, but I did grow up Catholic. My grandma's probably rolling over in her grave, and I went to CCD, confirmed, till I was in 11th grade. I love the Catholic saints. Shout out St. Anthony. When I lose something or whatever, he always helps me find it. But I didn't get anything from Catholicism.
You didn't make a connection.
I didn't make it a connection, but always open to it, always knowing there's something greater than myself. I always was able to feel and understand energy and otherworldly things as a child. And I just love the idea, especially because I went through a lot of hard paths of something greater than me helping me along this journey. And so began like, I guess I couldn't, because of my ADD and as a child ADHD. And now I was Google diagnosed with dyslexia. Oh I would last night. I wasn't able to go about life the way normal people did. So I want this other way of life. And I guess it is connected to the spirit world and the connection to the universe. And it just sort of developed to how we are today. Like my mission in life is to just keep growing and be committed to self-growth and helping the universe raise its consciousness. How does that sound?
Even though I grew up Catholic too, I think having some kind of spiritual background does help. And
it does
like
help.
You and I are lucky because
being open-minded.
At least we avoided Catholic damage too. Like I hate the term. I'm a recovering Catholic. It's like so cliche and it bothers me. I don't know what it is about that, but at least we avoided like, the priest stuff, or like some people, like, I'll bet you we both have a little bit of Roman Catholic guilt
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's how we were raised. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
so there's that. But yeah, that was a pretty good answer.
Is
So
that good?
yeah,
A
so
plus?
you're not. I mean, we'll be grading the paper after. So, what made you become a hairdresser?
Well, if I look back, I used to do my dad's hair, my mom's hair, like as a kid. I remember I'd take my dad and I put shampoo on his hair, and then I would go over to make him like put his head over the sink, and I would rinse it out, but I'd make him sit. And my mom was always a very glamorous woman, always did her hair, always did. And the first time I ever colored my hair, my parents were divorced at the time, and I did not, I really wanted to color my hair, and my mom said no. So I convinced her to drop me off at Walmart, and I bought and give me money, but she didn't like ask what I was buying, or she didn't check. And I bought hair color. It was like a dark purple, like purplish brown. And my dad, and I had her drop me off at my dad's house in a white bathroom. And I went there and I colored my hair, 11 years old, and I got it everywhere. I remember putting white out on the walls, trying to get it off. And then I got colored since then, and I just always loved it. And
White out on the walls. How did that work?
it didn't work, and my dad was furious,
Okay.
furious on the white walls so I tried to cover up.
I'm imagining that as a parent, and it gave me anxiety. Let's go on. Okay.
So I barely passed high school, elementary school. My parents got me through, and that's the truth. I talk about that. I just couldn't, I was voted class clown. I just could not focus, and no one knew what to do with me. And it was just, they kind of got me by. But my parents made me go to community college for a little bit. And then I came home and I said, I hate college. I absolutely hate it. And I was the first in my family to not go to college. And my parents were always very understanding that at my dad's funeral, he said I was this free bird, and I was child.
School just wasn't for you.
Thank you.
Sure.
He's good at getting to the point of my answers. School was not for me. So he said, but you have to go do something. You can't just work. And I said, I'm going to go to beauty school. And he said, okay. And it was an instant fit. And then again, the souls and the energy and working with people is why I continued.
Okay. So did you instantly bring your spiritual beliefs in your profession? And like, was it encouraged from the beginning?
I love this question. I really, really do. Because I speak passionately on this. Yes, I definitely brought in the beginning. It's developed though. In the beginning of my hair career, I was a very troubled young girl at the time. And, but still had a lot of various interests, especially in astrology. And right now I'm actually in a year-long course to ancient astrology for the modern mystic. And I guess then I could maybe start to consider myself an astrologer, the beginning of it, because it's never ending. But no. So at first, I had a very first boss, shout out Jimmy, actually is like third boss in, amazing. And he would say, Colleen, you have to he was the first to actually really the only person that encouraged this out of all my bosses to honor, he would say, Colleen, the connection that you have with the person is more important than the hair. And no one else would ever say that. Sure. He'd be like, you can give people crazy hair, but that connection is more important, and dealing with people and helping them. And so I started to be exposed to that. And then I moved out here. I was on drugs in the beginning of my hair career. And then I came out here and I stopped using drugs, and that really propelled my spiritual world. And when I first started out, I am who I am. I dress how I am, and I say what I am, and I try to help people in a healing way and talk about energy and astrology. And it was definitely, when I moved out here to the mainline, was frowned upon. It wasn't smart. People didn't like that idea. I should only talk about hair is what I heard. I shouldn't dress that way. People don't want to hear this. People don't want to do that. People don't want to do that. Well, here I am 8 years later. I told them all to go F themselves.
Kiss your ass.
Just a warning that there is probably a lot of swearing on this podcast. I know it's the 6 interviews I've done with my clients. So don't always listen to it unless your kids don't care. Or you don't care.
Yeah, they would be the parents not caring.
Oh yeah, the parents. Yeah,
the kids aren't going to care.
And here I am, and my clients loved it and believed in me, and they're here sacrificing their Friday nights interviewing with all my crazy shit and let me be a part of their journey and made me who I am today. And I'm forever grateful for that. So again, my advice is to do whatever the F you want to do. And when people say that you can't do that, do it, especially if you feel it in your heart.
So you took your beliefs and believed in yourself, and look, you've cultivated a genre, I guess. I don't know. Is that what you would call it?
I love that.
Of style and spirituality.
Well, I'm hoping, and I'm seeing in the hair career and the hair world, it's starting to now and I have people message me all the time. How did you merge it? How did you combine it? How did you do it? And Instagram pages are like, oh, we don't just have to post about hair and stuff right now. No. And that was big on Instagram. Everyone was like, you have to make a separate hair page. And I would say, I don't have the attention span to do that. So I'm making one hair page and I'm going to put my personal and spiritual shit and my hair stuff on the same one. And now people are doing that. And so just follow you.
How big of a following do you have on?
10 million. I'm just kidding. One day it will be 10 million. You have to envision it. Right now I have about 4,200.
Okay.
On Instagram. They're all over and it's coming.
And you've put a lot of work into that.
So much work.
It's not like you're just playing on Instagram and picking up fans.
Instagram's not like it used to be, kind of like TikTok is now. Like now you really have to work for it.
Sure. Now, okay, some details. Tell us a little bit about your life as it stands today.
Oh, some details of the hair healer. So I am married to this amazing person.
Share that.
Who's the world's okayest husband. I'm kidding. His name is Ben, and as you know, he's interviewing me right now. I live in Westchester, Pennsylvania. I have 2 sons myself, and Abram and Remy, and 3.5 and almost 6 years old. And they are so wild. If you follow me on any of my social media, you see that, but amazing. And I have 3 amazing stepchildren, Talia, who's 3, who's also wild, just like her brother, Abram, Zoe, who is 10, and Zach, who is 13. I'm following in the same pattern as my dad, who married and, had many stepkids and everything like that. I work at Capriotti Salon, and my boss is amazing, who is letting me record this podcast here. So actually we're currently at the color table, and that's where I have done and going to do all the interviews after the salon is closed. Capriotti Salon is located in a super cool neighborhood called Narberth, which is like part of Lower Merion, right outside Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
And I'll tell you what, we got pizza from Real Pizza here in Narberth, and right around the corner from here. And if you come to see the hair healer and you're hungry, I would suggest going to Real Pizza because it was legit.
Yeah.
I was feeling the real pizza.
Yeah.
I ate probably 2 slices too many, but it's okay.
Me too.
So you're happy?
Yes. Life is a journey. I'm always happy, and happiness takes work. It takes effort. It takes a lot of clearing from childhood bullshit that has been built up. And happiness is an emotion that sometimes goes up and down, but I would say my undercurrent is always happy and positive. And I also worked for that as well to change my mindset.
Well, you're still doing the work, and this isn't in my
Constantly.
questions, but it's funny how people
I love random
today.
questions.
Yeah, well, just about, I guess it's a statement too about you're in therapy, correct?
Correct. And I love to talk about therapy.
Right. And I'm in therapy, and we're in therapy
amazing.
together.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a time when it was so stigmatized, like no one wanted to be known in therapy. You're okay being open about that, though. And do you think it helps your clients when you not only, I guess, act in a healing capacity, but show that you're working on yourself in the process?
Oh my gosh. Yes, absolutely. And then I've been able to be so transparent with my clients is exactly how we got here too, is being able to tell them my truths and what I've been going through allows people to open up, understanding, or open up because they know like I'm coming from a non-emotional place and I won't tell anyone and I won't judge.
Sure. So every day I kind of try to set a daily goal, like a daily life mission. Now mine is to consistently come from a place of love. I'm not perfect. We're working on it. What would you say your daily life mission is?
My daily life mission is the first thing that came to my mind was make people happy. I just want people to be happy. So many people in life are not happy, and it's because there's so much work that needs to be done, and yet no one's talking about it, and no one wants to look at themselves, and there's still so much stigmatism around it. And continue with the question.
Well, it's...
I forgot.
What's your daily life mission?
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Overcoming ADD.
Thank you. See, this is me. And look, the phone's ringing. So this is me again. I want people to be more positive. I want to help people. I want to give them all this life knowledge I know. Every day, I want people to be able to be accepted for who they are and live authentically, and to be able to do things authentically in the world, to accept that we're all real and we're human and we're not this like fake carbon thing that society has made up. That's a huge mission, and be loved with who they are.
Okay, so if you had to sum up what you think your life mission or your purpose is, why is Colleen here on Earth right now?
Sorry that the phone's ringing again. I haven't figured out how to shut that off in the salon. Can you hear that?
And I'm eating a Butterfinger.
And he just ate a Butterfinger. This is supposed to be my first. Okay, sorry, go ahead. Ask me again.
What's your life's purpose?
My life's purpose is to raise the consciousness and make everyone come together. I know that sounds like some hippie, crazy BS, but people to come together and love.
Sure.
And I want to get my mission here at the Hair Healer is to get everyone to understand, put everyone on a soul level. Like, these are my clients, and you're getting the behind the chair exclusive of their journeys in life and what they have in the hardships, and just to connect everyone together. And I love that, and how you get to hear their opinions and things that I get to hear every single day, which is really what forges a connection.
I think that's one of the cool things about the podcast era is it gives an opportunity to really walk a mile in someone else's shoes.
Yeah.
To get their opinions, perspectives, and there's not the corporate agenda like the network interviews. Like, you can really get deep with somebody, and I've heard some of your interviews already, and you definitely get deeper with people, and it's that kind of vulnerability. I think all help, all healing starts at vulnerability. Would you agree?
Yes, all of it. And it's so hard to do, especially I know for me as a child, I was raised, not raised, it's just what had happened when my parents got divorced and there was a lot of craziness. I was left to handle my own emotions at a very young age. And when people don't know how to do that, right, you close off. And then you just go and create a ruckus in life, which is what I did amongst drugs and stupid behaviors and patterns and men and everything like that. And it was also, I didn't have to get vulnerable. But when you sit and have to be vulnerable, that's when, like you said, the healing comes.
Well, it's funny. It's almost like we inflict more pain on ourselves than anyone else could by our own refusal to get vulnerable based on old experiences or programming.
Exactly. Exactly. And so maybe that's what the journey is here too, to change the programming. Again, raise consciousness. I want to change the programming.
Sure. Change the narrative.
Yeah. This programming is not 2020.
Oh, we're not in 2020 yet. So, but no, I hear you. We've got outdated textbooks and programming. There's some things that need upgrading.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to one day see, like, if the Hair Healer, all that ever came from this was that they started teaching self-love in schools and emotional intelligence, that would be a beautiful thing, because that leads to freedom and happiness.
Sure. Well, with the amount of work you've been putting into the podcast, you deserve all the success and abundance that these
Abundance, my favorite word.
Well, that this medium has to offer. So, like, what do you want to leave people with from where you're at in your life right now and going forward on the Hair Healer podcast?
So you're saying this is my final message?
This is your final message where you're at right now, because this is going to change as you go along in this journey. So what's your message, and what do you want people to be prepared for as we go forward with the podcast? So
my message, first and foremost, is if you're listening to this and you made it to minute 24 and you listened to 24 minutes of us talking in the introduction, I am so grateful for you. It's your support that is getting me here, and you believing in me, those few people that believed in me in the beginning and kept supporting every video, every post, everything. Like, I am internally grateful for you, and you guys kept me going, especially with all the messages. I've never put so much work into something in my entire life. I'm not even kidding you. I don't even know parenting. And if I put that much work into it. And so right now, the episodes that we have lined up are really, really amazing. You get an in-depth hearing into what it's like to be in people's worlds, right?
Sure.
From a hairstylist perspective, we're sitting down and these are clients I've worked with for years and like helped heal and helped grow and helped them through this. And they have so much wisdom and they help me. So it's not even I should get back, probably more than I help them. They help me, right? And they fascinate me with life. And they fascinate me with how people work. And again, I wanted everyone, I don't say last names on here unless they really want to, like they do want to promote a business or something like that. I don't really talk about what people do again, unless they feel like talking about it, because I just want to put everyone on a soul level and say, each person has sort of all talked about a problem that they had faced in their life. And how they got through that and how they worked through that. And so that's a huge thing. And it also is pretty funny because as you see with me, I'm all over the place. And my clients are very funny too and all over the place. But there's a lot of heart. There's a lot of heart and a lot of soul. And I'm hoping that at the end, this ends up bringing so many people together and raises consciousness. It's going to be so amazing. And you're going to hear things on here that the inside scoop of everyone's lives and things you'd never thought you'd hear.
And as production gets better, Colleen says so amazing a lot. So I think there should be like one of those so amazing, like one of the clips. Like,
I know. So
you could have do a recap what's going on this week. And you know what else? Such and such happened this week, and that's so amazing.
That's going to be a part because I do say that. I think it started with people with ADD. We have words we say when we're not paying attention, and we realize, and I think that's one that started as an ADD word. Like, oh my God, that's so amazing.
Like all as your text word.
Yes.
AWWW. All.
All. But then it became like my word I use all the time. Oh my God, that's so amazing. Sure. And I know I sound like a Valley girl, but I really mean it.
Well, it's complimentary too. So it's not a bad one to latch onto.
I love it.
It could be like, wow,
that's really going to be my slogan.
Yeah, that really sucks could be your slogan. I think we wouldn't be the hair healer.
What's the hair healer slogan? So amazing.
So amazing.
I promise I don't always sound that annoying.
Yeah, the show was almost called So Amazing with the Hair Healer, but I talked her out of it. Just saying.
I love how this ended up being again, totally unscripted, just sort of like a chill introduction episode about what this is about. I hope this interested everyone enough to continue listening to the next episodes. And I hope this goes on for long, blah, 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 blah.
I think next time what we're going to have to do
Stop eating the candy.
Okay, I'm eating one more piece of candy here. What we're going to have to do is start and just talk for 15 minutes and let it roll. Talk about whatever to get in the groove.
Yeah.
Because I definitely feel more in the groove of talking now, and we're at the end.
And we're at the end. I know that's how it is. Well, it's funny because with my clients, a little bit behind the scenes of it is they come and they sit down and you attract who you are. So all my clients usually are really big talkers and we're talking and we talk and I'm like, wait, save that. We need to save that for the podcast. Wait, save that. So there is something to what you said because we end up talking for 15 minutes and get started before we start the podcast. So there's definitely a little more direction in my other episodes. But again, not really, because even the questions I would send my clients, I would send them hundreds of questions for them to answer. And they would come back and we ended up not even talking about half those questions, but amazing stuff did we talk about. I'm so excited for everyone. So excited. I'm so grateful. And I can't say that enough. I hope everyone finds themselves in a good mindset and a happy place, wherever they're listening to. If you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, tell me anything you want to hear. Questions you may want me to ask my clients, please email me at thehairhealer1111@yahoo.com. Please follow me at thehairhealer1111 on Instagram. And like and subscribe to whatever you're listening to this and send it to a friend. And you guys all rock. Thank you to my amazing hubby for interviewing me. I think that flowed well. I needed someone special that can flow well with me.
Yeah, I'm grateful I could help. And I think as we do this, because this is who is the hair healer, but eventually we'll do where did the hair healer come from?
Yeah, that would be the next one. And Ben has been sort of the behind the scenes with a lot of stuff for me, and helping me get there. And especially as this podcast has been taken off, like originally it was really just me for months, but since he's been really good with being my technical behind the scenes person.
I do what I can, babe.
Thank you. Thank you again, everyone, for listening. And I hope you love this as much as I do. Love you all. Bye.